Good evening. Today has been a horrific day in Putnam County. At approximately 2 a.m. this morning, a powerful tornado hit the western part of Putnam County with little warning. Massive damage was done to numerous homes, some of them totally destroyed as if they never existed. Hundreds of first responders and law enforcement officials have been working since 2 a.m. this morning, going house to house doing search and rescue. Also, hundreds of road department, street department, gas department, utilities, electric workers have been on scene clearing roads and the utilities, trying to get them back up. Currently, we have 88 people that have been treated for injuries at Cookeville Regional Medical Center, with some of those critical and some of those being transferred to other hospitals in Nashville by helicopter this morning. The saddest news I have to update you on is our death count. That has now risen to 18, with some of those being children. We have set a place up at Church on the Hill, which is located on the Highway 111 North and Quinlan Lake Road here in Putnam County, for family to gather that have lost loved ones. Our medical examiner and coroners are working to get all the deceased identified, and we asked if there's any family that have not made it to Church on the Hill that they go there to help us with identification of their loved ones. We currently have 77 people, what we call unaccounted for. Those were created from a list of people calling in to our Emergency Operations Center here and telling us of family members, loved ones, friends that they could not get in touch with that lived in the area. We do not think all of these people are deceased or missing or anything like that right now. We think that there's probably a lot of those that were found, that were contacted, that those folks did not call us back and let us know about those. We are going to release to you after this news conference that list of those people that have not been accounted for, and we ask that you publicize that, and we need your help and the public's help in finding out if they know the whereabouts of these people or have they been located, so that we can narrow that list down. So immediately after the news conference, we'll be getting you that list out. We ask for the citizens or the people around in our community to call our info line at 646-INFO or 931-646-4636 if you know of any of those people and know their whereabouts. If you have any information concerning any of those people, we ask that after this news conference you start calling us in. I'm now going to turn it over to Sheriff Farris, who will talk to you about our search and rescue efforts for today and our continuing efforts going into the night. Sheriff.
Thank you, Mayor. Currently, we have been able to go door to door on all standing structures, including houses and that are not demolished down there. So we have completed that task today. That is well over 100 different structures, maybe closer to 150. We're about 60% completion on our hard searches, meaning everything that's in the path as far as houses or buildings. We've got about 60% of that searched. We will be continuing our search effort throughout the night on this particular area. It's in neighborhoods. We'll be concentrating on the West Haven subdivision, the North McBroom Chapel area, and Hensley Road. Those are all subdivision areas with several houses that have been demolished. We still feel like that there's a possibility of basement areas that we have not made it to. We have lighting. We'll be in those areas tonight, working all night. One of our concerns, and we'll pick it back up tomorrow, is a approximately 20-acre field that is located between Echo Valley Estates and North McBroom Chapel Road. That area is a growed-up field area that is marshy, that is 6 or 7 foot tall. It's a very slow process. The way the tornado traveled, there's lots of debris down there. So we'll be continuing that tomorrow. Our time frame is we're hoping that all the demolished structures have been gone through by tomorrow, at the end of the day tomorrow, and then hopefully by the following day we'll be able to clear all the other fields and wooded area around it. So That is our plan of action right now. We have over 15 different area law enforcement agencies that are assisting us tonight and the next few days that will be on the scene working the area for us. We have set forth a curfew starting at 8 o'clock tonight. We'll be running until 8 a.m. in the morning time. We have made one arrest on a looting. We will not tolerate that. We will be saturating tonight as not only we work in the subdivisions and work in our rescue and search area, but we certainly will not let any crime occur in those areas. So I'll be glad to answer any questions after Mayor Ricky Shelton speaks. Thank you.
Good evening. This is the saddest and most tragic day in Cookeville, Putnam County history. The death, destruction, and devastation is literally unbelievable as we toured it both on the ground today and in a helicopter. Couple things to report. Cookeville Regional Medical Center is back to normal. They have triaged all the patients, and they did a remarkable job today, and they are back to normal. All Putnam County schools will be closed the remainder of the week. All Putnam County schools will be closed the rest of this week. Tennessee Tech University classes are canceled again for tomorrow as they were today, and that's tomorrow only. They will resume as normally scheduled on Thursday. We have established a couple of helplines. One is a phone line, 646-4636, 646-INFO. If you have information or need to check or report the whereabouts of someone that you know that Mayor Porter mentioned about. The other line is an email that we are requesting if you want to help, if you want to volunteer, if you have equipment you want to furnish our community, if you have food, water, anything else, and that is helpnow@putnamcountytn.gov. helpnow@putnamcountytn.gov. Also, of course, this morning we had some emergency shelters. We now have a permanent Red Cross shelter established at First Baptist Church on Walnut Avenue. We are also in the process of establishing a fund that people can donate to. It will be called the Cookeville Putnam County Tornado Relief Fund. As soon as it is finalized on the particulars of how that will work and how that you'll be able to donate to that, we will get that to you. Our hope and desire is to set that up, much like was done for the devastating fires in Gatlinburg, the Dolly Parton that was set up, and where it was the money was made sure that it got to the individual victims. And so we're going to make sure that we get that set up. So we'll let you know as soon as that is established. The other thing I would ask is just please pray. Pray for our families who have lost loved ones. Pray for our emergency responders as they have searched and rescued, and pray for our hurting community. But I can tell you we are resilient, and we will get through this together. We have a thing here, there's only one Cookeville, and there is only one Cookeville, and we will get through this together. God bless.
Thank you, Mayor. Also, tomorrow, as we continue our search and rescue, we will also be bringing our volunteers in, allowing people to come in and volunteer to help with the cleanup. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock at the Town Plaza Shopping Center at 157 South Jefferson Avenue here in Cookeville. If you'd like to volunteer, bring your chainsaws, bring your gloves, any of your work materials or equipment that you'd like to bring. Meet there. Most of us here in Cookeville know that is the old Hobby Lobby Shopping Center parking lot, but it's located at 157 South Jefferson. If you would like to donate to help those volunteers, they need work gloves, safety goggles, safety vests, and of course cases of water. Mr. Jack Duncan will be in charge of those efforts through emergency management. We also had the National Guard deployed here this afternoon. through TEMA. They were up with the governor this afternoon. They saw the devastation that we were going through, and so they'll be helping us. We have some platoons here that came in late this evening, and there'll be more coming in tomorrow. The pouring out of support from our community has been absolutely unbelievable, and all the efforts are truly appreciated. I want to thank everyone involved in today's efforts. We have some amazing first responders and law enforcement, road departments, utilities, all those folks that are dedicated to the citizens of Putnam County and their safety. We also want to thank our local PBS station who has worked with us. We have a new system here that we can break into our programming here. In the Upper Cumberland region, we'll be giving live updates daily through today and also through our Facebook pages. This has been the largest natural disaster in Putnam County's modern day history that we know of when it comes to the loss of life. As Mayor Shelton said, we continue to ask for prayers for the families that have been affected by this. We live in a great community, and we all know we're going to recover for this, just like we have in the past from all the other tragedies and so forth that have hit Putnam County. That's our update. I'll take some questions if there are any.
Gentlemen, I was hoping to clarify a point on the number of victims. The governor's office has said there were 19 dead in Putnam County.
We do not know where they got that number. We have confirmed 18.
Do you know how many of them are children? You said that there were a few.
Not for sure. We're still trying to identify all of those, and we prefer not to release any of that information until we have all of those identified and the families have been notified and so forth. Yes, ma'am.
What's the status of power outages?
That entire area, if you were down there today, you saw the devastation. Power lines down everywhere, poles down everywhere. So we have a large area that's still without power. I don't know what the city of Cookeville's number is now, but Upper Cumberland that services a lot of that area. I know that whole area will be down for several days, maybe even weeks, getting a lot of that repaired. So we just ask that folks be patient, and if you live in that area, be prepared for that to be several days before you get power back, as it's going to be a major undertaking to replace a lot of the main lines that are down in that area.
How many of the 77 unaccounted for do you think are people that are either without power or they don't have phone access, and it's simply related to that?
We think several. We think the biggest part of that list probably is that's the way to be accounted for, but we don't know. We want to make sure that everyone is accounted for in Putnam County that we have not been able to so far. So we need the public to help us tonight and tomorrow. If you know of these folks that are on this list, please contact us at the info line and let us know so we can take them off the list. Yes, ma'am.
We've had some, at our office, we've had some folks call in and say that they couldn't get through on the info line. And we've had some folks express their frustrations about how information flows at this situation at the church on the Hill. Are you guys addressing any of that?
We have been doing the very best we can. When you look at the devastation there were, and a lot of those deceased members, some were found early this morning and some were not found until late this afternoon. So we thought that best to try to get everybody at that church because it's close to the morgue that we have set up for the deceased. I hate that folks are upset. We're doing the very best we can, and we want to make sure that all the deceased and their loved ones are identified and they have a chance to do that, and we'll be working into the night to make sure that happens. And the info line, we've had a lot of phone calls, so I ask that people, if you got a busy signal, please don't give up, continue to try. You'll eventually get through.
How many have you identified? How many have you identified?
I can't give you that exact number now. They're working as we speak. I know that there have been several, but I couldn't give you an exact number. Other questions?
Are there any specific skills you need from volunteers?
People that are good with chainsaws and cleaning and being able to clean debris is probably going to be the big thing for the next several days. Tomorrow, if our search and rescue efforts continue, we'll use some of those volunteers going to those homes and assisting our law enforcement and first responders in digging through debris and getting down to some of those basements and crawl spaces and so forth of the houses to make sure that no one is still in those or trapped. Yes, ma'am.
What should residents be doing about the debris they are cleaning up right now?
As of right now, we asked that they not do a lot of that yet, as we're working on a plan for that debris as to where it will go. We'll be announcing that tomorrow. We'll be taking a lot of the tree debris, those tree limbs and so forth, will be going to a spot on Jackson Street that most of our residents are familiar with. We call it the chip yard, where they take their brush now. But when it comes to the debris of the houses, we'll be working through that with TEMA tonight and FEMA, which is going to be coming in tomorrow, and we'll have a plan and we'll make an announcement tomorrow. We'll be meeting in the morning at 7 a.m. here at the EOC for a briefing, and then we'll do another press conference or release tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock if we have additional information.
Gentlemen, in terms of the search, can you expand on that a little bit? What's going to be done tonight? I want to say you mentioned that you'll be bringing lights in. How
Yes.
much does darkness play in? Is there a lot of digging involved?
Well, some dig, and it's really through rubble of a particular residence. So we're going from residence to residence inside the neighborhood. So we're confining it to the neighborhood area. We do have portable lights. That's not an issue, but we will continue to work those areas throughout the night. I mentioned the 20-acre field that we're really highly concerned about, that we're trying to work on that as well. But that is something we can't do at nighttime. It becomes a hazard to the first responders and to law enforcement and rescue out there in that area. It's not a good area, so we'll have to resume that in the morning.
And there is hope that there are still some survivors possibly in the road?
We certainly hope so, yes, sir.
Have there been some rescue stories over the course of maybe the last 5-6 hours?
More so early on, when it first started happening in the wee hours of the morning. There was several that we had taken out of basement areas, and families and different places that was trapped that was able to use their cell phones and contact a loved one or someone who could get to us as law enforcement. But yes, that was early on.
What's the ballpark on the number of people you have out, and how many have, I guess, worked around the clock on this?
So today we had no less than about 250 law enforcement personnel only. Tonight we're down to probably about 60. We have, I mentioned earlier, we have 15 different agencies that's here assisting us. The Tennessee Highway Patrol is actually conducting security around the area for us tonight, and all the other law enforcement is inside that perimeter conducting searches.
Why are you highly concerned about the field?
It's sort of in the path of the way the tornado went. We have a lot of debris that way. We feel like if there are more victims, that's a very high probability place for us to find them.
And they would be from those subdivisions nearby?
Yes, ma'am.
There have been some reports that President Trump is visiting Friday. Is there any reports that he's coming to Putnam County?
We were notified just a few minutes ago that that looks at is what is going to happen, that he will be coming to Putnam County. There's still a lot of details to be worked out, but that was what we were notified earlier.
I was wondering if you could talk more about the looting arrest. Was it a business or a house?
No, it was an apartment complex. We had an individual that was looking for prescription meds, amongst other things, in apartments that was not his. Didn't even live in the area. So, yes.
What day is Trump coming?
We think Friday. All that's still being worked out.
As far as donations, are there any specific items that are needed more than others at this point, and where should those be taken?
We're setting up a distribution center at our Cookeville Community Center, which is on Carlin Avenue out by Avery Trace School. We've had a lot of folks already dropping off stuff there today. We're talking about diapers, toiletries, water, non-perishable foods, all the kind of things you would think of that these families, they've lost everything, clothing. So anything that you can think of in that way, they can drop them off at the Cookeville Community Center. It will be open tonight until 10 p.m. and we'll reopen tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and we will be setting up a distribution process to be able to get those items out to the people that need them.
Do you know about how many people are needing the shelter?
We have had very few people so far that have been to the shelters. We had some early this morning that showed up at them, but I don't have a definite count tonight. We're finding that most of these folks are staying with friends, family, and those kind of things. And but we do have that shelter available for anybody at the First Baptist Church, if anybody that doesn't have a place to go. We will make sure everyone's taken care of tonight, and we'll do everything we can to make sure that happens. Anybody else?
Any word at all of people, if maybe from cell phones you're trying to get to, or
I'm sorry, say that again.
any word from people maybe calling from cell phones from houses that you're trying to get to?
No, and cell phone coverage has been very bad today because of all the cell towers that have been out across the state due to all the storm damage. That seems to have gotten better later this afternoon, so hopefully that is going to get better and better as we go forward. We did have our cell providers have brought in some portable towers down in the damaged area, and so that's helped tremendously, and we look forward to have better communications tomorrow. Yeah.
Just to address a couple things. You know, every community, and I know this community especially, prepares itself for disasters or emergency situations. I don't think any amount of preparation can actually equate to what has happened here today. This is on a level that is that unlike anything that most have ever seen. So, you know, again, the infrastructure as far as the cell towers and the communication part and just the ability to make sure that things are categorized correctly and communicated. We've tried very much to be very open with our communication today. So, you know, we 110% since 2 a.m. this morning have been trying to make sure that to reassure our community, to get the resources where they needed to be, and to establish what is necessary to move our community forward and rescue and take care of the families. And so we will continue to do that. And you know, none of this was from lack of preparation, I can assure you. It was from the magnitude of how big this was. And I just want to clarify that. I think that was important.
Yeah, and how sudden it hit with little warning early this morning was a big problem at that time of the morning.